Hello, Dustin Hillis here with Tough Stump Technologies. We're here at the Tough Stump Rodeo. We have Jared with Glenair, who's one of our sponsors. So excited you guys are here.
We appreciate you guys having us out.
Yeah, and I'm so interested, and I know the audience is, how are you guys, well, let's start with what does Glenair do, and then let's go into how are we integrating it here at the rodeo.
Yeah, so Glenair, we're a small company, well not a small company, but we're out of Glendale, California. We opened our doors in 1956 as an interconnect company.
1956?
1956,
Wow,
so we're
that's
coming
cool.
up on 70 years next year.
Dang.
It's really exciting, especially to have everything made in America, from raw materials all the way to end product.
That's
and
important.
it's all American manufacturing. So with the uncertainty of this day and age and getting raw materials and getting the product out timely and efficiently, especially for the customers' demand that we have, mostly DoD and then the agencies within the U.S. government.
Yeah.
It's really important to meet those timelines that those contracts are as they come out.
Yeah.
So we started as a back shell company, basically making connectors and back shells
Okay.
to get out aircraft and everything else. And then over the last 70 years, we've grown into 26 different product lines. Everything from deep space to deep sea and downhole oil and gas. So everything that you need to connect in no-fail situations.
What would be deep space? Can you talk about that at
Yeah,
all?
so we have, Glenair has our connectors, our cables on the Mars rover, the International Space Station.
That's cool.
Most of the satellites. So, you know, SpaceX is one of our large customers as well, along with Raytheon, Boeing. Pretty much anything that goes on an airplane probably has a Glenair connector somewhere on it.
Wow, I watched Elon Musk video from about 2 weeks ago. He said that next year they're going to send the first robot to Mars.
That would be amazing. I can't wait to see it. And hopefully, you know, Glenair, hopefully we got a little stamp on it somewhere.
That's cool. That's cool. So from what you have here to show off, what are some of the things that you guys have that's working here at the Tough Stump Rodeo in Montana?
So, you know, having the Tough Stump Rodeo where it's vendors getting together in the industry to solve problems for our customers, you know, and showing that interoperability, that is what we do at Glenair. We're interconnect. So, you know, you have Silvus, L3, persistent
Get a little
systems,
closer where you can see some of this.
all the like, you know, the radio companies that are out here. So we take all the radios and we can create those, you know, ingest all the mesh networks.
Yep.
Send it out on a Starlink Mini
Okay, so you got your Starlink here connecting in.
to our hub. So this is what we do. This is
Okay.
our Starpan X hub.
See if you can get a little shot of that.
This is our platform-based solution
Oh, that's great.
to interconnect everything. So whether it's on a helicopter, a Razor, or an amphibious vehicle.
Is a vehicle like this pretty normal for you guys?
So, you know, obviously this is our display case, but it segues into what the military does with their M-Razors.
Yeah.
So the cool thing about this is our Starpan X is our 10-port hub system, capable of ingesting 400 watts, so it can handle a lot of power.
Yep.
And it also has edge compute built in there, so the TAC server is hosted on there, and we can ingest everything.
The TAC is hosted.
The
on
TAC
there.
server is hosted on there. So with our IMX8 processor, and they're not a big beefy processor,
Yeah.
but enough to meet the tactical needs and requirements of the end user.
Okay.
So by hosting the TAC server on there in a Docker container, we can also host video compression software, radio over IP software, and we ingest all the data from the different waveforms through the TAC server, and then we can federate the TAC server to a cloud somewhere so it can be accessed from anywhere in the world.
Man, that's great.
And what the cool thing about the Starpan X as well, you can't see it, but every position seat in the Razor has a plug there, so you can get on with your body worn system, plug in, and now you're powering and recharging all of your body worn equipment. So you extend the life of all being offset from the vehicle.
From inside.
From inside, from sitting in your seat.
That's cool.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit. So we hear on the loudspeaker, there's all this different demos, and there's lanes where there's drones flying, there's dogs going different places, different comm setups on the top of the mountains here. What are some of the interconnectivity you've done physically here at the rodeo?
So yesterday I was helping out PhotoKite. They have one of the tethered drone systems, and they needed to transmit their video out. So I
think it was a little loud. The tethered drone system.
Yeah, so the
Okay.
tethered drone system
Yeah.
from PhotoKite was over at, I think, Demo Area 1 yesterday.
Get a shot of Demo Area 1 behind us here. That's where it was.
So they had a tactical problem that they needed to plug into an RJ45 Ethernet connection, which is on their base station,
Yep.
to pull the video out and then load it into TAC and then transmit it out on. They wanted to use Starlink.
Yep.
So the device, their Tab Active isn't a tactical edition.
So they're putting a Starlink on a tethered drone.
So it's not on the drone; it was separate station.
Separate. Okay.
So what we
Got
did,
it.
they had a gap there. So I built a system from our StarPan Plus product line, to where I plugged in our RJ45 jack into our hub.
Okay.
And then I ran to the Tab Active. However, since the Tab Active isn't a tactical edition, I utilized our Mission Manager module, which now allows 256 IP addresses for a non-tactical edition device. So I was able to bridge the gap and bridge those two ports together to ingest the video and then push it out over Starlink to populate to the server.
That's perfect. And so for people that are watching going, wow, that's pretty cool. What does it mean to be at the rodeo? With that scenario you just mapped out, to where you have all these vendors here, is it pretty rare to be able to have that kind of scenario where you could test your equipment with that many different peers and vendors and folks like that?
Yeah, it is rare, especially as, in the rodeo, things come out and problems get solved. So, just being able to ID these problems before the end user has the problems, I think is key. So when we go and we talk to them and they give us their requirements, we can be like, yep, we already have a solution for that, and we can make it streamlined and fast to actually make sure they don't run into that in a combat zone.
That's awesome. Is this your first rodeo, or how many have you been to?
This is
now?
my second rodeo. So last year, Glenair came out for the first time.
Yep.
We did some demos, showed some stuff, and we've been more involved this year. We were a platinum level sponsor.
Yep. Thank you for that.
Absolutely. And then now being able to just bring our Razor out and showcase what we can do. I mean,
it looked fun. I saw you guys
is
riding around, and I might need to take a little spin later.
We can get you out there. We can get you out up in I think the Grizzly areas where they went yesterday.
Oh, that sounds awesome. I actually saw you up on the top of that mountain. Show that mountain behind you. They were up there with the Razor, so.
We were safe the entire time. So
totally
safety,
safe.
safety first.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's great to be here. You're working right now.
I know. It's amazing that Tough Stump could put this together, get all these vendors out. I think you said 300 people this year.
Yeah.
And for us to be able to showcase what Glenair does and the high quality products we have that don't fail, and they're plug and play and simple with the other vendors to get into the end user's hands. I think it's a great thing that you guys are doing for us.
Awesome, thank you. Well, just on that note, anything else you'd like for the world to see on YouTube? This will be watched for people outside of the rodeo and people that have come to the rodeo. Anything else you'd like to showcase or talk about with what you guys do at Glenair?
So, we talked a little bit about our StarPan X, which is our vehicle mounted system. I'd like to walk you over and show you our wearable system.
Okay.
So with our StarPan next generation line, we've taken the edge compute from that larger system and we put it in this one. And we've also reduced the need for smarter cables as well by putting the USB PD negotiation within the hub. So now this is your edge compute device, which can further extend what the soldier, Marine, or whoever it is on the ground to get their mission accomplished.
Very cool. Anything else here that's
this is
noteworthy?
This is just kind of shows that the hub is an ecosystem to interconnect. You have a trellis-ware radio hooked up to it with a plurf with a Mohawk camera, and with this we can utilize the plurf to get targeting data, use live video of that, and then push it out over the trellis-ware radio network.
That's a great example of being at the rodeo.
Exactly.
With that many different connectivities to what your hub provides.
And that's what we are at Glenair. We're Interconnect Solutions.
Awesome. Well, how can people find you if they're interested and want to, find out about more information?
Our website's glenair.com. You can go there, and we have every catalog on there as well. You'll find the directory and be able to reach out to any of us as well. Or you can find me, Jared Hodges, at jhodges@glenair.com.
Cool. Appreciate it, Jared.
Absolutely. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.